What up, guys? Today we're going to talk about ad creatives for agencies, and this is what most of the guys that come to me for mentorship, they struggle with. Leads are not coming in consistently, and you don't have a reliable funnel or marketing, to basically ramp up your agency. And agencies, they rely on a consistent funnel where they know when they put $10,000 in, they're going to get $50,000 out. Referrals and all that stuff is nice to have, but that is like cream on top of the cake. It's not really going to make a big difference for you. So let's dive into the ad creatives. I will share my screen. I have all my learnings. I have rules that you need to apply when you go through the creatives. And I'm even going to break down all the ads that I'm using myself for my agency Purple Fire every single day. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe below. I put a lot of content out, put a lot of effort into it. So it would really mean a lot if you could just hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you don't want to do all this stuff yourself, you're welcome to schedule a call. You can click the button below and we'll just have a little friendly chat on whether it makes sense to work together. All right, let's dive into it. I'll share my screen. Boom, here we go. And the first thing I really want to show you is a couple of rules to live by when you run your ads. These are just things I've learned spending so much money. I think we spent about $500,000 at this point through the last two and a half years. The number one rule that you need to apply, first of all, is that ads must be simple and easy to understand within 3 seconds. So this is something you're familiar with if you run ads for your agency already, potentially, or if you're an e-com agency that run ads for different e-com stores. Now, if an ad isn't simple to understand in a couple of seconds, what's going to happen is that people are going to scroll by and you're going to see a really high cost per click. So showing you a good example of that. These two ads, for example, down here, without me like stopping up, I can already tell that there is a comparison. Comparison just really makes it easy for people to understand your ad. You can see it here through an old car and a nice car. And then we talk about e-com brands and how they optimize. We optimize CRO and so on. Here's another example where we show it before and after. It's easy to understand that running ads to an optimized page is going to get you a better ROAS, right? So those ads are really easy to digest, and it means that cost per click is going to be very, very low because people will naturally just understand them. Now, of course, that has to be paired with good ad copy. Here you can see an example of also comparison, but also with the ad copy here, you can see how we take brands from 100K to 500K, read below. So, okay, if I want to understand more about this ad, it's probably going to talk about a case about an e-com brand, and it's going to be relevant for brands over 100K. So that is copy that makes it easy to understand. How we took a pet brand from 167K to 800K in 3 months. Like, that's a massive case study. And if you want to read that, you can click on the ad. Now, that's simple, and that is in contrast to other ads that are not easy and it takes a lot longer to digest. Number two is that the ads must communicate your services and what you do effectively. If they're vague, trust me, I've run so many ads. If your ads are vague, like you're doing something that's really hard to understand, you're doing a lot of different things, trust me, no one is going to book a call because no one has the energy to just go through and understand what it is you're actually selling. So for cold traffic, top of funnel, make sure you really communicate what you do. A good example is this ad right here, where I have a really powerful, it's almost like a tweet about what agencies are not doing well when it comes to Google Ads. And then I have a really good copy that supplements that. And then it says here, give me the 10 biggest Google Ads issues. And so it's easy to understand that I'm probably selling Google Ads services. And if you click this button, you're gonna get a personalized plan with the 10 biggest issues in your account. So this is a really, really good example of what you do. E-com brands that run ads to zero optimized landers and PDPs, pretty easy to understand because of the meta logo and the ROAS and the fact that we mentioned that we run ads and we also do CRO, that you can understand that we are doing these different services for e-com brands. Like, again, it's crystal clear what it is we do. So those are two rules that you need to apply instantly. And you can always take these rules, go through your ad library and literally like go one by one and say, like, do we actually apply these rules or not? Like, and then basically you're already you're gonna be fixing your ad account like really, really fast. Now, number 3 is ads must qualify and call out to your ideal customers clearly. If you don't qualify them and call out to your ideal customer, then you're gonna get a lot of trash leads, a lot of trash calls, and you're gonna get a lot of no-shows. For example, if I was to not make it clear that this is for e-com brands, but just for anyone, then I could have coaches, I could have a service-based business show up, and we wouldn't be a good fit here, and it would be really, really bad. The algorithm wouldn't be able to optimize. So call out, again, you can see that consistently. I'm calling out to e-com brands here again, like, and all the copy here is calling out to someone that's looking for a better solution for their ad account. Another example, let's see if we can find another one here. How we took this pet brand from 167K, right? So it's easy to understand immediately. This is for an e-com brand. You can see Shopify screenshots, right? And the same here again. So what you want to apply in the copy and in the creative, the visual creative, is clear call out to who you want to work with. This is really, really key. The next rule is ad must focus on a strong pain point, or the reverse, like a major desire of theirs. If you don't have that, you're not going to get a reaction, basically, right? So for example, here I go into the pain point angle. Why is every ad Google Ads agency so complacent? Why is it always my fault if the ads are not performing? They promise you the world, but the ink is still wet. 3 months later, you're stuck with low ROAS and a ton of wasted dollars. Right, so I am really like, I'm putting the knife into the wound, and I'm twisting. And this is really, really powerful because you get an emotional reaction from the person that is watching or reading your ad. Now, if I didn't have that, if the ad was just completely, irrelevant and boring, then no one's gonna feel excited about clicking your ad, and you're gonna get a very low click-through rate. And this is honestly the same principle if you're running ads for e-com clients or coaching clients, whatever it might be. You will need to either focus on a strong pain point or a strong desire if you want to get people that jump on a call with you. So this is really, really important. This is the first framing. This is the first foundation we're laying in order to make sure down the line in the funnel we actually get good prospects. And so you're laying that groundwork in the first creative. And the next one is ad must make them curious to find out more about you and your service offer. And I actually believe that this is a very, this is very much done in the creative as well. Because, for example, this one gets people so excited about working with us because they imagine, wow, that's a nice before and after. What if we could have that for our website? I really want to see more about these guys and what they can do, right? So that makes them really curious. And I think it's really important that they want to find out more about your brand and what you're doing. Another example of that could be if you're doing a case study. Here you can see it's just a Loom video of me going over a case study actually for the same brand. But in this example, I go over a lot of the before and afters, the creatives, and everything we actually fixed for this brand. And so going over that makes them really, really excited to see more. And so I recommend that you use that in your ads, that curiosity as well. And the final rule as well is the ad must be scroll stopping and have a strong hook. If they're not scroll stopping, then no one's going to see them. And scroll stopping is very difficult sometimes with a video. For example, you can see this one right here. Now, just from a talking head type of video that, let's say it's 30 seconds or 1 minute, there's going to be a lot of people that won't necessarily stop here. And the reason is they don't have the energy to consume and click, play and listen to the video, whatever. So they're just going to scroll past it. So what can you do here? Well, you could make a really strong copy and you could make a hook within the first 3 to 5 seconds. For example, I'm getting them curious about stating a really high return in the first 6 months. And basically that makes people want to pay attention to what I have to say in the video. So this is really, really powerful. Without that text up there, I wouldn't get nearly as many people. And of course the video itself is also going to hook them in, because what I talk about is something dramatic and drastic, which is really, really important here as well. I also recommend, like something like this is scroll stopping because people are like, whoa, ROAS and wow, that looks good. Okay, old car, new car. Like you get really like hooked into that. You want to know more. So that's definitely really helpful. Before and afters work really well. And by the way, if you want a lot more of these ad creatives, you can click the link below to my ad templates. I have about 30 winning ads I use for my agency that you can literally just copy and do whatever you want with. So that's something in the description below if you want to get them. I think they're 27 bucks, so it's not a big investment. Now, those were 6 rules you need to apply for your ads. Now comes the big learnings, and I'll talk more about, the ad account structure as well, and some of the bigger, let's say, macro-based things that you need to keep in mind as well. So after spending about $500,000 on ads, by the way, right now we spend about 35K a month. So you could say just per year we're close to $500,000 in ads. So it is a pretty big spend. Number one learning is statics have by far outperformed the best of all our videos. So they just perform so good, and videos haven't been killing it for us. So we constantly run statics and gives. Gives are also great, but statics has been king for us. And just keep that in mind. Like, the statics have just worked really well. Now, what will happen if you run video, you're gonna get a way higher cost per click, but they're gonna be a little bit more framed if they actually watch the video, which means that it's a higher quality click. But we still see that ultimately, if we can get them to our landing page and has a strong BSL and really good information about our offer, there's a higher likelihood that they will book a call or consider us versus just watching a longer bit of video on Meta, for example, or Instagram. So statics. And number 2, ads can have multiple lives. When they stop performing, you can turn them off, and then you could try them again in a few months. I'll show you an example of that up here, because you can see there's tons of different campaigns, ads, and you can see that the cost per call, it varies a little bit. But honestly, what we are applying right now, and it's never worked as well as it has now, is that we're literally turning off ads that start to not do well. So you can see this one is $600 a call. I'll turn that off. I'll probably turn off this one for $400 a call as well. And then I'll probably for now just keep the rest on, because I like to have calls for about $250 on average. And you can see a lot of these are actually performing better. Now, what will happen is usually I'll turn these off. I'll cool them off for about a month to 3 months, and I'll turn them on again, and they will start performing again, which is crazy. And I believe it's because there is some creative fatigue, and there are going to be people seeing the same ad over and over. But once you have turned them off for a couple of months, the algorithm will spit them out to new people that are in the market shopping for an agency right now, and they'll perform again. So you need to rotate your ads. You need to turn off and on. And if you do that, you could probably have about 30, 40 creatives. And once you have that, you're almost good to go. I wouldn't just rely on that, because I'm a kind of guy that want to keep testing. But, if you don't have the in-house team to keep running new ads, you could literally have 30, 40 good ads, and you could rotate them, and they will really work well. So that's lesson number 1. Keep rotating, and never just say, oh, this was a loser. If it worked well before, and then it kind of like went off the grid and didn't work, then you can turn them on again, and it's really cool. Advantage Plus does not work well for us. All budgets, basically allocated with 1 to 2 ads. So basically, what I want to show, sorry, I misspoke there. So basically, what I meant to say here is that when you run Advantage Plus, let's say this was one big Advantage Plus campaign, and we got whatever 10 or 12 ads. What will happen is one ad will get all the ad spend. You could see, like for example, this one could have gotten all the ad spend, this one that books the most calls, and it will quickly die off because of the point I told you about in the last learning, which is that there will be creative fatigue, and people get tired of seeing the same ad over and over. So basically, all ad spend will go to 1 or 2 ads, and the whole campaign will stop working. But when you do ABO or just asset optimization, you're not really optimizing. There's going to be a lot of auction overlap, and there's going to be a lot of people seeing the same not the same, but they're going to see different ads from you instead of just having Advantage Plus where they only see one ad. And this is really, really cool because I believe that when they book a call, it's because they see an overwhelming amount of really cool ads from you, different angles, really cool things. This specific funnel is just about conversion rate optimization, and we run like 12 different ads. So they see 12 different cases of us doing a good job on clients, showing really cool before afters and so on. And so this is overwhelming them. And this is why I believe that overall we're seeing the best performance ever. It's because we have so many active ads and they all help convince the prospect that we are a good fit. So not using Advantage Plus has been really good for us. I like to have 1 to 3 different ads within every single ad set. So these are all individual assets and I'll have 1 to 3 ads within each, but within every single ad set, it's going to be 3 different variants. Like, for example, I'm using different colors, I'm using a little bit of different like design in there, but overall it's the same angle I'm running within each ad set. And so I have all these assets live with a couple of ads within. This is a really easy setup that everyone can set up. It's so simple, and it's for the most part pretty evergreen. This campaign here I ran for over 12 months. And all I did was just update, pause ads, put in some new ads, but everything, the funnel, everything stayed the same, right? So it's really, really consistent. And that's what I recommend. I just talked about that already. Like one of the learnings is 1 campaign per service offer. Just keep each funnel clean and you can run multiple ads in each campaign using above structure. So let's say you are an agency that run email marketing and you do Google ads and you do web development. Those are completely different services. I would create 1 campaign at least for one of those services. But if you're like me that want to test a ton of things, I might say, okay, for Google ads, I have 5 offers at any given time that I'm testing out. And those offers may be, first month is free, or we do an audit for free, or we throw in email marketing on top of it. Like we're creating different offers, or we might change the ICP, like this is only for beauty brands, or this is something we're going to be trying for SaaS businesses, right? So you might mix and match the offer, and I like to create 1 campaign per offer. And the reason for that is that you can't backtrack whether things have gone really well in a campaign if you don't have this really nice setup with 1 campaign per offer. And so if you're very simple, you can just run 1 for email marketing because you only have 1 offer. But if you're like me and want to really split test, you will do 1 campaign per offer. And what I will then do is I'll go into my sales system and I'll see how many clients did we sign this month? And I'll go into the UTM parameters. I'll go into the forums that are all hosting Go High Level. And I will literally check what ad and what funnel did they come through and what offer were they exposed to. And it will all lead back up to a campaign because I keep the naming structure really intact and I can see, okay, it was this campaign with this offer, with this landing page, with this ad that turned this into a client. And when I basically do my monthly optimization, pausing ads, running new ads, scheduling new stuff, thinking about new offers, new funnels, then I do it based on this full 360 overview of my entire funnel. And I don't think almost any agency is doing that because they're not even checking or integrating with their sales system when they're considering what ads to turn off. They're just looking at the silliest cost per call, which is such a front-end vanity metric and not really a good metric to use when you're optimizing for profit or optimizing for new clients, which is what you should be optimizing towards. Yeah. All right, so that was that one. I already talked about an overwhelming amount of ads in the same funnel is really good. Again, this is because they see so many different ads for that specific offer. It's gonna be really good. Then better to spread out budget in many different ads. So for example, up here, these are all different ad sets, and they might be spending 50 to $200 each. And this is really on purpose. I try to spread out the budget a lot because I believe in the overall performance being better. Instead of saying, oh, this one has the best cost per call, let's just throw in 80% of the budget for this one, you're going to get the creative fatigue problem I spoke about, and it's not going to perform. So for me, it's better to spread it out pretty evenly. I don't do it like 100% evenly. If there is a high performer, I spend a little bit more on that one, but it's not crazy. I don't go completely crazy with it. Then you need to have a constant production line of new ads to avoid creative fatigue and just squeeze out their performance. So if you are high level like myself and you want the best performance, I don't ever stop producing new ads. I want new angles, I want new funnels, I want new offers. So you might get anywhere between a couple of ads to 10 ads to 20 ads a week, depending on your ad spend. And this is just really, really key, guys. You want to get a creative production line going, because then you're never going to run out, and you're going to get that consistency in performance where the cost per call or the cost per new client is going to be very consistent, just because you don't have that creative fatigue. So anyway, guys, this was all my learnings and all the rules, which again, you can just take that and apply it, and you can audit your own account. Now, if you don't want to do this, you want someone to help you with it, maybe even be inside of your Meta account and help you as a secondary, like an advisor, then you can book a call below and you can join my mentorship program. This is really a good fit for any agency doing at least 20K a month. But yeah, the bottom for that is below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe if you found this video useful, and I'll see you soon.